I'm a mama for girls. Give me attitude and I'll talk about your pill-popping roommate too. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I am Raphael and I'm here to review season 16, episode 16 of The Real Housewives with Pill-Popping Roommates of Atlanta. So we start the episode off with Shamia and her two daughters at the doctor's. She's trying to figure out what was going on with Shiloh and their health condition. And then she also tries to promote her new song, T-Shirt, by singing it with her oldest daughter. Lately, I know I am so emotional, and baby, I'm sorry. I'm waiting up with your T-shirt on. Now, see, if I was a nurse, I would have been petty, and I would have just shut the whole thing down, and I would have made an announcement like, excuse me, no singing in the waiting room. This is a doctor's office, not a studio. But Shamia finally dropped her highly anticipated song T-Shirt 2 days ago, and it was good. It was catchy. A bit slow, but it was still good. So kudos to you, Shamia. The doctor tells Shamia that Shiloh's had something, I believe, strep throat, and that's the reason why her condition was just, all over the place. But then Shamia also, she lets us know again that Shiloh's had a history of health conditions ever since she was born. So, she's not really surprised by this. And then she goes on with her monologue about how her husband deserves this. He wants a son. He wants that. He's a good husband to her. And you do realize, Shamia, that it takes two to tangle, right? Like, it's not all about his decision. It's yours as well. And both of you already have enough on your plate. And now you want to add a baby into the mix? Like, if anything, he's the one that should be waiting on you with his T-shirt on. Put him on the remix. So then we head over to Phaedra's house and she's with her two sons. The youngest one, Aiden, he wants to have his own clothing brand, more lifestyle. And he's actually sewing a pair of pants. And I've always said that if you know how to sew, you could do anything in life. Like, that's one skill that I wish I knew how to do. Like, imagine having a concept in your head and all you need is a sewing machine, fabric, and boom, a whole new outfit. She by Sheree, who? GNA by Ashley and Giselle, who? Bare Naked by Britt Edie, who? Meanwhile, Phaedra, she's like, oh, well, you know what? I feel like Aiden is going to be just like his mom. Well, let's hope not, for the sake of him. But she goes on to say, he's just very multi-talented like me. I'm, a mortician, a liar, a lawyer, a gaslighter, a manipulator. And lately, she also says that she's been experimenting with crystals and that she actually has crystals in her vagina. What kind of toxic pussy do you have to do such a thing like that in 2025, Phaedra? Go get that checked out. That does not sound normal. But she tells Aiden, oh, I want to create a fashion show for you to, show off your creations. And he's very into it. He's excited. His brother, he's also going to be a part of it. And, all I'm thinking is, meanwhile, Sheree, Sheree's probably selling her shirts for 2 for $20. Buy 2, get another one free. Damn shame. We also see Waffles heading for her divorce hearing, and after 4 long hours, nothing changed. Everything is still the same. She is still legally married to her husband. The only thing that is different is that he got arrested because he didn't pay child support. He sounds like such a huge headache to be dealing with. Like, he sounds like such a monster. Not only did he steal money from her, shut down businesses, and now he's just dragging this whole thing out. No child support, and now he's in jail. Then we see Miss Cha-Ching. She comes on over and, surprisingly, she looked decently dressed. I like this orange on her. So she sits down, Waffles, she fills her in on everything that's been going on. She's like, look, me and Remy Ma, we have also not spoken since Grenada. So then Shamia, she was just like, wait, what? Like, why? Meanwhile, we see Remy Ma. She's actually inviting her new besties, Portia and Cynthia. She invites them over, right, after Phaedra's pep talk. So she whips out her wettest and tastiest charcuterie board for Portia and Cynthia. And Portia, she'll go wherever the wind blows. Or at least wherever the men who are taken in marriages are going. So they come on over. Portia's looking around like, what? I can't believe this. This is such an honor, Britt. I can't believe you had me here. Wow, we're going to be besties. And Britt, already, she's trying to slither up, Portia's brain. And she starts telling Portia, oh, Portia, it's so funny, you're here, but I haven't really talked to Waffles like that. Portia was just like, wait, what? Wait, hold on, give me 1 second. I thought both of you were besties. Are you pulling my leg? What's going on here? So then Britt, she's like, I got her right where I want her. Well, you see, the thing is, between me and Kelly, like, I don't. Well, can you pass me a tissue? I have a lot of mucus in my nose. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. She's like jealous of me because I think that she doesn't want me using her stylist. What? Are you serious? For what? Both of you dress really nicely. I mean, yeah, but the thing is, I think she's kind of jealous or something that I'm wearing the clothes differently. So it all boils down to how Kelly admits this in the confessional. She's like, yeah, I don't like her using my glam team. Like, she's dressed in everything like that I'm doing. And then, yeah, I've never really noticed. Both of them do dress very identical. I mean, both of them look nice, but what do you all think? Who dresses nicer between both of them? I could kind of relate to Kelly because, I mean, I don't know how many more times I gotta continue telling people that there's only one Raphael and it's me. I'm one of one. I'm the only one. Don't even waste your time trying to compete with me. Unique? No, I'm kidding, but I mean, it could get annoying, right? Like, that's weird. Like, it's almost like having a mini me. But I don't think that I don't even think she knows. I don't even think she has the brain capacity to really even acknowledge that she's dressing up as Kelly. I don't think that she's doing it maliciously. It's just her glam team is pretty lame if, they can't think outside of the box for both of them. Like, clearly you're styling both of them. They're gonna be next to each other. Why would you dress them the same? So then Britt, again, she's like, well, actually, Shamia, speaking of her, she actually showed me messages about both of you or something, that both of you were going through it. And, messages that you were showing to your lawyer and whatever. She said, that you're going through a lot. So then this one, Portia, again, switched up on Shamia within 2 seconds. She was just like, wait, hold on. No. Because, yeah, we were good, but I don't think we're good anymore. I'm like, Portia, it kills me to see her be so dumb. Like, just goes wherever the wind blows. Like, just because Britt says that, you're gonna believe it. Meanwhile, we see Angela, her husband Charles, Phaedra, Drew, they're going to Kelly's event, this waffle making place. And it didn't hit me until this episode that we have yet to see Kelly do anything with her waffle empire. I mean, it's always waffle this, waffle that, waffle everything, but what about the restaurants that she owns? Like, we have yet to see her, go in and try to interact with the customers. Like, nobody's eating at her restaurants. We haven't seen any of that, let alone seen her cook anything until this scene right here. And even that was kind of questionable because I'm just looking at that dish like, you know what? I ate before I came out. So Charles, right, he's also the known chef. He has this little playful competition with Kelly on who can make the best waffle creation. And I mean, judging from everybody else's reaction at the table, it seems that Charles kind of beat Miss Waffle Queen herself. So Kelly, what are we doing? As they're sitting there waffling, some random man just walked up to Angela. He starts whispering in her ear like, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? Yeah, sure. You look kind of familiar. Yeah, you do too. I just want to know, do you know somebody by the name? Oh, you know his name. Oh, I definitely know his name. Charles, my husband that never pays attention to me? What about him? Well, I just want to let you know, he's cheating on you. No, he's not. And the whole conversation, it just blindsided Angela. Angela's just sitting there like, what? Angela, honestly, she entertained the conversation way longer than I would have. Because the second that he would have been like, oh yeah, your husband is cheating, waffle to the face. I would have called security, like, security, get his gay... I shouldn't say that. It's Pride Month and I'm a part of the community, so let me not say that. But now, do I believe these crazy allegations and accusations that Charles is supposedly cheating? Yes. We all know that Charles loves a good old whore, allegedly, right? But this man had the audacity. So Angela was just like, oh, okay, get away from me. Like, get away from me. So then he walks away, and you could just tell that the second that he turned around with waffle in his plate, he flipped his invisible bang like, I so did that. Like, pathetic. Like, and luckily Charles wasn't listening to any of this because he wasn't paying attention to Angela like he usually doesn't. So then Angela, she tells Phaedra and Drew what's going on, and I'm looking at Phaedra like, I have a feeling that she knows exactly who that man is and she set him up to do this. I don't know, it's just a strange feeling that I have, but time will tell. So eventually Kelly, she sees what's going on and she's like, okay, we have enough footage for the episode right before the finale. Let's cut the cameras. Like, I want to go home. These waffles are nasty. I don't know how to cook. Security, can you get him out? So security, he goes over to the guy, he gets him and he escorts him out and that was that. But before that, he wanted to do a little shot. He gathers up a bunch of people and he's just like, okay, let's do a shot to Angela's cheating husband. And I'm like, again, what did Angela do to you? Who set you up to do this? And it's only going to be a matter of time before he opens up his mouth on social media to expose who put him up to do this. So Phaedra, she was just like, I'm very religious. I do not believe in ever spreading anybody's business. Meanwhile, we cut to 2 seconds later, we see her running outside. She gets in her car. She's like, Siri, call Portia. I mean, I can't even be upset with Phaedra because, I would do the same thing, right? Something juicy like this. Sorry, Angela, but I'm going to have to tell somebody. So then Portia, she picks up. She's with Britt and Cynthia, right? So then Phaedra, she's, hyping everything up. She's like, oh, you won't believe it. Like, this man, he ambushed us. He threw a pie in Kelly's face. He got into it with Charles. Like, it was crazy. It was waffles all over the place. Portia, she was just like, wait, what? Hold on. Wait, hold on. Go back because I can't process all of this. What happened? So then Phaedra continues. Yeah, the man, he came up to her. He said that Charles was cheating with like a bunch of different women behind Angela's back and that he had all the receipts. It was crazy. The security had to jump him. It was a whole fist fight. It was crazy. Portia, you need to come out here quickly. Portia, she was just like, what? I can't believe this. What? And Charles? I'm like, Portia, please, you've done worse. But so we finally get to Phaedra's fashion room showcase, but before the event starts, she gets a phone call from Portia letting her know that she can't come because her cousin Londi has sadly passed away. And I do feel for Portia. Phaedra, she was completely understanding. She told her, like, it's completely fine, I understand. So 2 hours later, the rest of the cast, they all show up. And as they're talking, they're mingling. They all look really, really nice too, by the way. Shamia, she had my favorite look. The necklace could have been bigger, but it's always give or take with Shamia. So Angela, she lets them know about everything that happened at Kelly's event with, the random guy, just coming up to her, ambushing her. And she was just like, well, I got some information because people do not play about us. And we know people. And let's just say we know someone. And I'm like, I'm scared. Like, let me not say too much about Charles before they start doing research on me. But Angela says that she found out that the man was actually paid, dun, 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 by Phaedra, right? Wrong, because she's like, oh yeah, some man paid him off and he gave me a description of how the man looks. So we're going to get to the bottom of this. And I'm like, what does that mean? Again, I'm scared. Even the producer, they asked Angela, are you part of the mafia? I don't know, Angela. I feel like you know who Angie K from Salt Lake City is. That's all I'm going to say. But, apparently the man was paid off. I believe it. And, Phaedra is just standing there like, oh, shit, they're on to me. They know that I paid him. Let me go to the bathroom. I still think it's Phaedra. But, Angela says that she's going to get to the bottom of it. The last one to show up is Britt. She shows up, and I love this little bob that she has on. So she shows up, her and Kelly, they're avoiding each other. Kelly's just, whatever. Eventually, Kelly finds out that Portia and Cynthia was at Britt's house, and she starts talking around Britt. She was just like, oh, wow, she being Britt, she actually let them over? What, really? Wow, really? So she's talking about Britt, but not to Britt. So, it's childish. Britt, she was just like, you don't have to be afraid to talk to me. I'm right here. Kelly, she was just like, I'm not afraid to talk to you. I can say whatever I want. So Britt, she was just like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. Kelly, she was just like, yeah, whatever. What? What are you talking about? So then Britt, eventually, she was just like, you know what? Let me just put out the real issue. So the real issue, according to Britt, is that supposedly she thinks that Kelly is jealous or feels some type of way because their trip to Nashville, I guess Britt outdressed her or something like that. And I just feel like it's much deeper than what we're seeing. Because, over the glam team, really? Now, Kelly, she takes the first low blow at Britt, surprisingly, and she was just like, oh, please, go back to your roommate. And is it bad the second that she said that, I thought about Robin and Juan? I'm like, oh, we have multiple roommates in different cities, but, she was just like, yeah, go back to your pill-popping roommate. Not pill-popping roommate, so that explains his interesting behavior on the show. But, I'm surprised that Britt didn't swing on her either because Britt's a hothead, but Britt, she kept putting her hand in her face, and I'm like, both two alleged besties just going at each other. Like, this is just so sad. This is the Real Housewives of friendships breaking up this season because first we have Shamia and Portia. We saw that coming, and now this. But they continue going back and forth, and Britt, she was just like pill popping. Here goes Phaedra in the confessional. Pill popping roommate? Wow, I never heard that. I mean, the closest thing that Britt ever gave me to a pill was an Advil. Like Phaedra, and I've said this before, I think in my last review, I'm so tired of Phaedra and these little corny jokes or whatever you want to call it, that she constantly is just throwing them at the wall. Like, do you find me funny? Do you find me funny? Is this funny? Is this funny? Like, she just wants a moment so badly, and it's just like, Phaedra, stop trying to recreate what you had like back in season 6, season 9, season 4, season 5. Like, stop. Like, it's just so annoying. Every little thing. She's a strawberry shortcake. Like, isn't that funny? Let me calm down. It's just so annoying because it's just like, Phaedra, you're naturally funny. You don't have to do all of that. Like, the only pill he gave me was an Advil. Like, so stupid. Anyways, they continue going back and forth. Now, Kelly threw the first blow, which, again, I'm surprised that it didn't actually come to blows, but Britt, she throws it back at her, and she was just like, oh, please. You're the one that had all the abortions in your marriages. As soon as she said that, I'm like, yeah, this friendship is over. You can't go back from that. I mean, you can't go back from the pill-popping thing, accusing my husband or whatever he is to her, after that. But, I mean, you just threw it in her face that, what, she had abortions in her marriage? Like, how do you even say that? But, I mean, part of me feels like, okay, that was a bit too much, but at the same time, Kelly, you started it. You threw a low blow at her, so, what do you expect? She's gonna throw one back at you, and you can't control how somebody reacts to it, I guess, right? It was a bit too much, but Kelly, I'm not sure if she was trying to get physical, but she's trying to get around, but the giant bodyguard, she's so tiny, so she's just being, covered up, and she was just like, what abortions? What do you, no, get off me, no, get off me, no, abortions, what are you talking about? I'm just looking at Kelly like, look at her, she's so adorable when she's upset. She's all the way outside, and I could not believe she said it. I'm like, wow, abortions in your marriage. Insane. Meanwhile, while all of this is going on, who's outside in the waiting room? Drew. Drew, honestly, if I was you, I would just give my peach to Bravo and just leave because of disrespect. She got to the event late, so they closed the door on her, but she's part of the cast. She's just out there like, the security, they're bringing her snacks and everything, and she's just dressed, all nicely outside. That's so embarrassing. Like, first this, then you're sitting on the edge of the couch at the reunion, and I can only imagine how that's gonna be. But the showcasing, it was nice. It was a bunch of furs. I love fur. And then we see Aiden. He comes out with his pants that he made, and they look really, really nice. So, kudos to Aiden, kudos to Phaedra. I love the speech that she gave, that she's trying to, give her sons a leg up. And I thought that was beautiful. I'm like, look, Phaedra, we need to see more personal moments like this from you, not those stupid little corny things that you say in the confessionals. So eventually that was that. Everybody's trying on furs and outfits that they possibly want to buy. And Kelly is hilarious because she's like at 100. She is pissed off and she's just trying things on, all pissy like. Do you like this shirt? I mean, it's cute. Yeah. Give me that fur over there. Yeah. No, I'll try it on. Yeah, we could take a picture if you want. Yeah. What about the skirt? Does it match my shoes? No, it's cute. It's cute. It's nice. Like, she is pissed. But eventually, the whole showcase, it was cute. It was nice. It was a cute event for Phaedra's first event. So they sit down because Phaedra tells them, okay, I need to tell everybody why Portia's not here. So they're all sitting down and, she tells them that Portia's cousin Londi has sadly passed away. So they all get emotional. I believe they start crying. Shamia, I'm looking at her reaction like, okay, does she already know this? Or I'm assuming she does, right? Because it's her bestie. Wrong. This is her genuine, shock of the news, right? Because according to her Instagram post, she says that this is the first time she ever found out that Londi had passed away. And I'm like, Shamia, how many more red flags do you have to constantly take from Portia to realize that that woman is not your best friend? I mean, I don't know how close Londi and Portia were, but I would just assume that you would tell your bestie, hey, I'm going through something like this, and not find out through Phaedra. And I was waiting for, one of Brit's, alcoholic speeches of, well, you have a village here. You have a village to Kelly. But, this time Brit was sober, so she was not going to do that. So that was that. Next week is the finale already. I mean, not already, like, yippee. Like, it's about damn time. Thank you all so much for coming to my YouTube live a couple of days ago. I did the live because the last week's episode was just so boring and there was nothing to say. So I just thought, okay, let me just do a random live. And, it was nice chatting and chit-chatting with everybody about everything. And I'm pretty sure that maybe I'll be open to doing that again. I rewatched it again, right? I think it was about 2 hours. I rewatched the entire thing and, I could tell that I was like uncomfortable and just kind of like, I didn't know what to do. I was just all over the place because I don't do lives. So, forgive me for feeling a bit off on that if you watched it. But it was fun. It was cute just talking about, all the things that we did. But yeah, that was that, everybody. Let me know what you all thought about this whole entire episode. What do you think? Are you Team Kelly? Are you Team Waffle or Team Brit? Let me know that in the comments. Bye, everybody. Mwah.